Yeah, it was a wild win, right? Good to get a win. What I told the guys in the locker room in terms of just overview is just so proud of their effort and resiliency. I just see growth in the program in terms of we were up 17-3 at half. We could have been down 3-17. The guys were just the same, no matter what. And you attribute that to good programs that can just come in, same thing, no matter what. The mental approach is huge. The thing that I was proud of too is we were cramping. We had a lot of guys cramping, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And I was telling them in the locker room, I didn't even know who was in the game, and I obviously that was, you could see that because we had to call 2 timeouts at the end of the game to figure out personnel. And so we have to do a better job. I have to do a better job making sure that we understand situations and who's backups on backups, and so that's something we have to do better as a coaching staff to put our guys in the position to make plays. But kept battling. I would say we're going to look back on some missed opportunities in all 3 phases: offense, defense, and the kicking game. And if we capitalize on those situations, you probably walk out there with a chance to have a 2-score win and make it a lot easier on ourselves than we did. But that being said, we're never going to not enjoy a win. That's what we said in the locker room. We're going to enjoy it being 1-0. It has a nice ring to it, and so a great way to start the season, start the year. So proud of our guys. We have very good football players, and the guys sitting beside me right here are great examples of that. And so showed up, made plays, and guys that have been in our program too a long time for the most part. So that's exciting to see as well.
Brian, take me through the kick. What's going through your mind? Did you have a target in mind of where you felt confident from?
I'm pretty confident until 50, but I was aiming for the right post and then kind of just took it, and it was just another kick in my eyes.
Can you watch their last kick? I mean, as a kicker, could you watch what he was doing?
Yeah, I was able to watch it. Didn't go in, obviously.
The kick, you were excited. The touchback after, you were really excited.
Oh yeah.
Just just take me through kind of that minute and a half of your life.
After making the field goal, I was pretty juiced up, and I kind of knew that I was going to kick the ball pretty deep on that kickoff, and what do you know, it was pretty deep.
and I think, not to jump in here, but he understands the situation of stepped up, made a kick. I mean, we put him out there last year in the Mariners game, if you remember, a 54-yarder, I think it was, to win the game, and have unbelievable confidence in his ability, and to see his growth too, just since I've been here, is awesome. And so credit to him. But then I'd say he understood the situation. Bart is actually a very good athlete, and so he understands. You got number 1 back there for them who can do some things with the ball, and was able to keep it out of his hands. And so not only a big field goal, but a big kick. And that being said, we had defensive guys covering the kick, and challenging when you're running around there, you go make a tackle and then get back there and play defense.
I was watching the sideline, I was watching you, I was watching Will, I was watching everything. After that 3rd down, it didn't look like any of you flinched. I mean, you just knew he's going out there, you just knew what was, no hesitation.
Oh, I told them right from the jump we were kicking. So they knew on 2nd down that we were going to kick the field goal if we didn't get anywhere.
Keon, the cramping. I mean, just how hot was it out there? How difficult is it to kind of fight through that?
I feel like the first drive, it's like warm-up drive for me. After, during the game, it was kind of bad. I think I just need to just drink some pepper juice, more water. But it's going to get better throughout the season. I'll be good.
Sam, for you too, I mean, you guys, the defensive guys were down. I mean, look at the sideline, just 5-6 guys stretched out, everything. How chaotic is that to go through that?
Well, I mean, we had a lot of guys that were playing their first game, especially on the D-line. So it was a little chaotic, kind of figuring out who was in, how long we were going to be in for a drive or whatever. But we figured it out. We just kept our composure and knew that we would have a guy that could get the job done at the end of the day.
You were living in the backfield, probably being held a lot. I'll
Yeah.
say that, you don't have have to, but just how were you able to get so much pressure on the quarterback, especially on those last couple drives late?
Well, since we played them last year, we just learned from the mistakes that we made last year and just kind of capitalized off that and had a different approach and how we're going to pass rush, how we're going to play the run and stuff like that. We knew what their guys wanted to do, and we were just ready for it. And we were just very confident in what we could get done.
Landon, just these two defensive players, both sides of the front and the back of the defenses, what did you think about their performance today?
I would say I'm very excited about what they were able to do. I mean, we had 4 sacks in the game, and had the opportunity for maybe another 4, and so we were able to get pressure through a 4-man rush and then some pressures on top of it. But very excited for those guys. I think as a coaching staff, we had a good idea of some of the guys that were coming out that had the opportunity to play and were ready to play. And I think you'll continue. You'll continue to see that throughout the season. And then back end, we're experienced. Well, we were until third and fourth quarter. Then we became really inexperienced real quick when we just had guys kept going down. But that's credit to the back end guys, and really, you see it here, and they had 273 yards passing, which is a decent amount. But at the same time, credit them. But I mean, they had a guy catch a 47-yard catch off his back. I don't know if that's going to be sustainable or not, but I thought guys were in position for the most part. Maybe a few under routes we didn't do a great job on, but credit the guys for being in the right positions. And we'll take a look at film. There's a couple things that we can work on and look at, but I think the guys understood the game plan, understood what needed to be done.
Mason, coach is talking about being ready to play. You come in there, first play, 19, 20-yard touchdown run. What did you see on that play, and just your thoughts on delivering in your first play there?
Like I said during the week, I met with you, and I just knew I had to control what I could, and stay prepared. And if you stay ready, you don't really have to get ready, and that's what I live by. So when I went in there, I just knew what my job was and knew what the play had, and the guys up front did a great job, making that hole. And I followed Aaron Dawson, and it was a touchdown. But just was ready for my name to be called, and when I went in, just did what the coaches were asking of me and control what I could.
And then in the second half, you're in there, for a long period of time. Just were you able to settle into the flow of the game?
Yes, sir. It's mainly just about, like I said, preparing. Like I knew at any moment if I was put in the game, I had the guys around me. I knew, we're a special team, got special players, and I knew if I go in there, I was preparing, I was ready to go. So it was nothing like out of the ordinary, just be thrown in and just, take care of what I could.
And I guess a couple of layers. What did you think of Mikey's performance? What happened to Mikey, and what did you think of Mason kind of sliding in there and keeping things going?
Yeah, I mean, Mason said it. I mean, we feel like we have a lot of good quarterbacks, and it made our decision tough, in terms of who would be the guy. And Mikey was completing almost 70% of his passes in camp. So when he went out there, it didn't surprise any of us in terms of his ability to run the offense. And then Mason again had a really good camp, and Mason also brings the ability to run the football, and bigger guy. I mean, he's 220, 25 pounds, and he gets downhill, can get going. So you have that dynamic of ability to throw it and run. And so we knew that going into it, and there was a plan. That the first run was that was a planned run, and so obviously he took advantage of it, right?
Sure.
But it's next guy up mentality. I mean, you got to. We told him when we met with him that very rarely do you get through a season with just one guy, and so you guys have to stay ready.
Any update on Mikey at all?
I haven't heard. Yeah, shoulder, I think.
News to the outside world was seeing Evan on crutches and all that. Just how big of a loss is that? What does he mean? And what has he done in the last week to kind of keep the guys motivated?
Yeah, huge loss, and don't even think of it from a football perspective. Though, just think it from a person standpoint. who he is. He was elected team captain, and this came after his injury, and just unbelievable person. He invests time in people, and so when he does that, he gets a lot of respect of his teammates. And I would say this, at least for me, I guess I don't want to speak for the guys, but I would imagine they'd say the same thing. Is we're walking to the victory bell, and he's out there shaking our hand as we walk by, and it's just that ability. Like people say, like when you're hurt and you're not playing, that you don't bring value to the team, and his value, in my opinion, at that time was through the roof, because these guys got to go out and play. He can't play. And so to think he would give anything to go out there and play with us and be part of it brings a lot of value to the guys that says, man, I better be very grateful for the opportunity to go out and play college football and get to go do it. 110 other guys that you love and have strong feelings for, and so it's big. It's big.
I mean, you came in with them, right? I mean, you guys have been defensive players for 3 years now. Just do you feel like you've got to carry a little bit of him on the field with you?
Yeah, he was definitely talking to me whenever we came on the sideline. It almost felt like he was out on the field. Like, Evan, like he's always talking. He's what like you see in the cap. Like without him, I feel like we wouldn't be where we at today. So I appreciate that.
Hi, Coach. Michael Torch. Valpo's historically struggled in season openers. What does it mean to start off with a win and kind of set the tone for the rest of the season?
It's always great to get a win, but what I told the guys, and I thought this was really cool, and I meant it when I said it, is like they've helped, and it's not just the players. I don't want to take it wrong, but they've helped build something that was really neat tonight. Over the last 3 years, to be able to build a program where you get to see the students in the community rally around the guys. When I came out in the second half, I was juiced. I was excited to see the glow sticks and damn music, and I was ready to go. I was ready to roll. But to create that environment is special in college football. And we had recruits. We have recruits sitting out there still right now that are, man, I love it, Coach. That environment you had, that's what you want. That's what they get excited about. And that's a credit to our students, the student body, our community, the parents. But I also give a lot of credit to our players to create an atmosphere that create an environment that people want to come watch them play. But it's a snowball. It gets going and people get excited about it. And so I know I am. I'm very thankful for these guys, for the administration, the program, all that, in order for us to have success.
For any of the players, it felt like it felt new out there. Maybe like through COVID, big fans, 3 different tailgate parties, a couple dogs in costumes walking around out there. Like it felt like a new step. Did that feel the same to you guys at all, especially you guys have been around for a while?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like it just felt like they were all just behind us, and I hadn't really felt that before, even though I wasn't necessarily in the game. I didn't feel like that energy, even from like the students and stuff like that. So that was really special today, and it meant a lot for us, especially like when we're tired, we're cramping and stuff like that, and that extra juice just like really, really helped us keep pushing.
It's a factor in the game. There's no doubt. Sam.
Coach, talk to me a little bit about Dawson coming in, kind of that instant impact, 147 yards. What kind of player is he, and how do you see him impacting the rest of the season?
Good football player. Us defensive guys, he'll get downhill on you. It's a load, and it goes down, and it's fast. And so we're excited to have him. But we also have, the reality is, and that's what I thought. I mean, we have some backs that we'll see the film, but maybe should have had the opportunity to carry the ball a little bit more. And I'm not second guessing the offensive coaches yet, but we have stable backs that are very good players that you'll see that we'll talk about. Janai Clark and Ryan Mann and Barrett Labus and Jeffrey Bircher. Like we have a good group of running backs, and so you'll see those guys throughout the year.